Welcome back to Parlor City Voice, another episode with Bluffton Mayor Scott Mincer and myself, Councilman Rick Elwell. It's nice to be here. Thanks to Tim Simpson for joining us earlier. That was a great interview. He's a good guy, and they do a lot.
So he's going to go out. He's going to be thinking about blowing snow right now. What he's going to do about it.
That guy probably lays awake at night going, "What's the weather going to do?" Right?
He does, for sure.
I'm sure he does. And we have a lot of other things going on. The winter weather aside, we've got just a list of stuff.
So that sounds like we got to bring back the board.
We're going to bring back the board. I'm so excited. All right.
Okay. So, one of the questions we get a lot is, I never heard about that. Nobody ever told me, or how am I supposed to find out about these things? And I think that's one of the things that's really, really difficult for us, especially in this day and age, is to figure out how do we get the word out about things. And we post things on our website, but I don't know that how many people are going to the city website on a frequent basis. Facebook is one of our predominant mediums to get the word out.
Mayor's office has a Facebook page. Parks.
The mayor has a Facebook page. The mayor's office has a Facebook page.
Right.
A lot of the utility departments has a Facebook page. The Parks Department has a Facebook page. So we're using Facebook quite a lot. But even with that, as popular as all those Facebook pages are, we still get people who go, I didn't know that was going on. So I'm sort of asking the question on what are the other ways that we can get the word out? And so maybe if you see this, you probably are seeing it on Facebook or YouTube, which I don't have on the list.
Right.
Maybe you could pop down on the comments section and tell us what are some of the other ways that we could get word out. Is it Instagram? Is it X, what used to be Twitter?
Well, I will tell you that I have a 19-year-old, and Instagram is his domain. So I think some of it's a little generational in terms of demographic. I think there's different platforms for different people, when it comes to that. So
we are putting this podcast out on Spotify. You can tell the Alexa app to play the Parlor City Voice podcast. That's available. So we're trying to get the podcast out on other mediums. YouTube is one of our main platforms to get the podcast out as well. The other thing that we're doing to try to get feedback from the public is the use of surveys. And we've talked about surveys a lot. We use a tool called SurveyMonkey. We're going to talk about a few more surveys today before we get done. And we're also going to talk about public hearings, public information meetings. We did the public meeting on the OR event that Quinn produced for us, and we got out on Facebook and YouTube.
Which was successful beyond measure. It was really a good
very well attended.
Yep.
So again, we're asking the community, what are the ways you get your news? Are there things that we can be doing differently outside of what we're doing today, which predominantly is our website, Facebook, and again, this podcast going out on some other mediums. Newspaper is always at our public meetings. Again, where do people get their news sources these days?
And we stream our meetings.
So
you can join us live in progress if you want to be current and check it out.
And those streams are available on the city's website. So you go to the city's website, you can see those meetings. So speaking of surveys, we just launched a survey on the holiday lighting event. And so we're trying to amp it up for next year. And we're trying to find out from you, from the public, what do you want to see different that we can add to what we did last year, just a couple months ago.
Right, yeah, it wasn't very long ago.
And the time is now when we start to think about what is it we want to do, how much is that going to cost, what sort of fundraising can we do to make sure no tax dollars are going towards some of these things. So that survey is available. We're pushing it out on Facebook. It's going to be on the city's website. If there's other ways we can get that out, certainly we'll look to do that, but please participate in the survey. Grant funding always asks for, do you have public support? And this is a great way to show grantors that we have public support. So look for this holiday lighting survey.
We talked about this project, lead line replacement, it's underway.
Yep, and the only reason I'm bringing it back up today is because we're going to have a public information meeting. Again, another mechanism to try to reach the public to get them more and more information. And it's going to be on February 5th at 6 p.m. in council chambers. So if you want to learn more about this program, how it works, how it impacts you, when you might be impacted, please come to that meeting, because you may be one of the residents who needs this lead line service to your home replaced, and we have to get your permission to do that. So if we don't get your permission, you're not going to get a free replacement of this line to your home. So come to the meeting, we'll answer all your questions, and again, another way for us to try to get the word out. So February 5th, 6 p.m. at City Council Chambers.
Now, this is a program that we missed the mark on. We, by 0.38 points, the state said that we didn't qualify by 0.38 points.
0.38 points.
So we had a kind of a public information meeting, and that went really well. This is the OOR, Owner Occupied Rehabilitation Grant. It's a big deal, and it could save some folks some serious money, folks that need it.
So this would bring our community $350,000 of federal money, where residents can get up to $25,000 to get repairs done on their homes, critical repairs. There's certain criteria, and we talked about that at our public information hearing. The next meeting is a public hearing, a little bit different than an information meeting, a public hearing that's going to be during a city council meeting on February 17th at 6 p.m. So this is where we're really trying to make the pitch to the state that we have a need for this grant money.
And they'll be watching to see how many people show up at this meeting for this program.
That's right.
So we need you there. If you know someone, I had a conversation yesterday with someone who said, hey, what's the income level? I said, I don't have that in front of me, but really what's important is that we get them to this meeting, and so we have an opportunity to get this money, and then we can worry about applications.
That's right. Now this is a little different than the last meeting. That was more of an informational meeting.
Right.
This is the meeting where we're all, including residents, we're advocating for the state to say we do have needs. So people who have repair needs, we want you to come to the meeting and tell us, tell council,
Yep.
and tell the state, here's my need.
Yep. Tell us your story.
Tell us your story.
What's
exactly.
going on?
So February 17th, 6 p.m.
So we've been in some winter weather like we haven't seen for a few years, and there are a number of informational things that we'd like to communicate. There are warming centers, and I know that I've seen a lot of traffic on social media about that. Now the downside to that is a lot of these places are only open during the day,
Right.
but not all of them.
So yes, if you go on the city website, we'll have a map of all the warming centers. We're not going to walk through the whole list tonight, but it's there. We've pushed it out again on Facebook.
Yep.
It's on the website.
Yep.
But there are warming centers. Again, some of them have limited hours, so please check the location and what the hours are. If you need a warm place, the temperatures are expected to drop over the next several days. So by the
Yep.
time you hear this podcast, we're probably going to be in that span of days where the temperatures are going to be really, really cold. You don't need to be cold. Find a warming center, get to them, get some help. The other things we want to talk about, and again, you can find this on the city website, are things that you can do before the cold weather hits, what you want to do during the severe cold, and what happens if your pipes freeze. And there's a few things you don't want to do. You know, you don't want to take a salamander heater and crank that baby up, put it in your crawl space to try to unfreeze your pipes. Not a good idea.
I put one in my attic once. It's a really bad idea.
It's a really bad idea. So don't be listening to Rick. That's
Yeah, when I'm not endorsing it, I said it was a bad idea. Listen, there's another point to this too, and I've been seeing this a lot over the last day and a half on social media. Folks who have frozen pipes who are in rentals. And I just want to reinforce, If that's you and your landlord's not getting back with you to get you water to your family, call the city building inspectors department and register that complaint. We can work on complaints that we get. It's not okay that somebody's not returning your phone call because you have frozen pipes if you're in a rental. I just want to throw that out there.
No, that's a great point. But there are small things you can do when you know cold weather events are coming up to prevent your pipes from freezing. That's what you want to do, is make sure those pipes never do freeze.
Proactive. Yep.
And so we've got some of those tips out on the website. Please go check them out. They're there for your assistance. But please, please, please do not do some of the things that could create fire hazards.
There are definitely some things that might make sense for a second, but if you think it through, probably not a good idea.
And if you have any questions about that, call the fire department. They'll be glad to give you some assistance. If you need a warming center and you don't know where they are on the map, call 911 dispatch. They'll tell you where the warming center is. They'll help you get there. If you don't have transportation to get to a warming center, call WOW, Wells on Wheels. They will take you there at no charge to get you to the warming center. So there's no reason for people to be in a situation where they can't stay warm. And we're here to try to get that information out to you.
And this weather's hard on furnaces, and if you've got an older furnace and it gives up the ghost, don't wait around too long. Let somebody know and act.
So cold weather coming. Again, by the time you see this podcast, it's probably right on top of you.
Yep.
So switching gears a little bit, we had a sort of pseudo ribbon cutting of a new business that has come in town. It's out in our industrial park. It's a business called Palmer Donovan. They just moved into a 200,000 square foot space.
They're warehousing, right?
They're warehousing construction materials. So for Ace Hobegger Lumber, other large contractors who do big building projects, this is where they can pick up materials and have materials delivered. So it's a great opportunity. Going to be about 45 brand new jobs. They're looking for about 10 CDL drivers. So if you know someone who's got a CDL, an experienced CDL driver, won't work on weekends, give them a call. Palmer Donovan, we're really excited to have them in town. Great space, brand new warehouse space out on Adams Street. So again, another great work by our Economic Development Director, Jessica Best. And I got a chance to go tour the facility. Aaron Pribble from the Chamber was with us as well. So the other interesting thing about Palmer Donovan, they're an ESOP. You know what an ESOP is?
Employee Stock Ownership Program.
Yep.
I was involved in a company years ago that had an ESOP. It's a great program. Great program.
So if you know somebody looking for a job, here's a great company to get involved with. In essence, you get an opportunity to be part owner of the company through the ESOP.
Yep.
And again, if you got a CDL, here's a great opportunity to get hooked up with a good company.
Okay.
All right, Rick.
What is it?
What is it?
I know what it is.
All right, I knew you would.
Because
I'm throwing you a softball here.
That's very much a softball. This is it's called a handhold, and it's access to underground conduits for utility systems, electric, low voltage. Sometimes.
What is this specifically one?
It's at our new pool.
No.
Okay. Now, how am I? Wait a minute. How am I going to know where this is? You know how many of these are in the city?
I picked this one specifically because this is one that's being used by Adams Wells for fiber optic lines.
So at our sewer plant.
I don't know where exactly.
Is it one of our
this
alleys?
is. But
okay,
I
quit.
So Adams Wells is a great company, local company that has run fiber pretty much throughout the entire community.
Yep.
We were one of the earliest cities to have 1 gig service in Bluffton, way ahead of other towns our size.
And I was on other providers before we got their fiber product, and I'll tell you what, it rarely goes down. And if it does go down, it's not their deal, usually.
And one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit as it relates to Adams Wells is that we get involved in a lot of projects where we have to bore underneath roads or sidewalks or other pavement structures. And when you do that, you want to try to get as much use out of that boring as possible.
Yes.
So we will hook up with Adams Wells, and they will help fund some of the boring projects. And we may be doing it for water, but because they can utilize it for fiber, they ride along that work. So they're a great partner, and there's some things coming down the road with Adams Wells. I'm not prepared to talk about yet, so I'm teasing it a little bit. But again, great company, great local company, delivers great service. And so when you see one of these things, think about Adams Wells. There's probably fiber in this. And we've got fiber pretty much through this entire community. Not many communities our size can say that.
And it is a great advantage. Absolutely.
I know this is your favorite slide of the presentation.
Adopt a cat.
Adopt a cat.
Adopt
So
a cat.
it is still completely free to get a cat at the shelter right now. We had Oren last week. Today, Ellie, a 4-month-old female tortoiseshell cat. Look, isn't she beautiful?
She's pretty.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. So we had a mouse in our house. About a month ago, we figured out that we had an intruder who was pretty elusive. I actually witnessed my dog, Luna. You've met Luna.
I've met Luna.
Watched the mouse run across the kitchen, and she did nothing about it.
See, so if you had Ellie
Nothing.
or Oren,
I know.
Probably
might have been a
taken
different
care of.
deal, right?
so
Yeah. So free cat. Animal shelter still running the program, and you know, I mean, it really does a lot of good too. It helped. I mean, they work hard to try to make sure that all of the animals that come through their doors end up finding good homes.
Yep, for sure.
And not ending up with a bad situation. So yeah, get a cat for free.
all right, get a cat.
All right. Oops.
All right, we
Oh
got
my
a lot of
goodness.
stuff going on. You wouldn't think for February that we would have this much stuff going on around town. So we've got the mother-son Nerf war. You know, I never got to shoot things at my mother.
Yeah.
Did you?
No. And
I think I've heard about your mother. Would
my
she have
mom
let
was a
you
little
shoot-
German woman who had a big wooden spoon, and she called that her equalizer. It's a long story, but I digress.
So we've got the mother-son Nerf war, and we've got the daddy-daughter dance. So dads dance with their daughters, mothers shoot their sons with guns. Nerf guns. Nerf
They
guns.
get to shoot back, so keep that in mind.
It's true.
The Chili Trail run's coming up. I'm actually signed up for that. I won't be running. I'll likely be walking, trudging through the snow.
You realize that's like coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm
What do you
trying
think the temperature is going to be on that day?
I don't want to think
Is there a
about it.
threshold where you will not show up depending what the temperature is?
Not really. I'm pretty committed when I put my name on. I'm not going to run and hide.
Okay.
And I got some new outerwear, so you know.
I wanted to give you one more chance. The Theater Thursday is coming up, and the movie is
F1.
F1.
That's right.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. So can we move on, please? So we do have. I know for a fact that the Kehoe Concert Summer Series is lined up now. So
It is lined up. I was told that we were not allowed to reveal the names of the bands that are coming.
I've seen the list.
Pretty good list. isn't
It's
it?
a great list. You betcha.
But here is a pitch that Brandy is still looking for sponsors for some of these bands. I think $1,500 you can be a sponsor. That's how we get these great bands, all for free.
And it's very expensive to have them. It's very expensive.
Especially
So
if you want a really good show, and we've been getting some really
great shows.
solid shows.
got open gym hours. Of course, that's always helpful in the weather like this. November through March, it's open for kids in K through 12.
Yep,
So
kids
open
can
gym.
just come
Yep,
hang out,
hang
run
out.
around, burn off some
Yep.
energy, stay warm.
One of the other programs that they've been running for some time now is Rocksteady Boxing, and that program's actually morphed into a few sub-programs too. But that was originally started to work with folks with Parkinson's, and I think maybe a couple other conditions. I'm not really super up on the details, but it's a great program.
Yeah, and what's great about that program is it gets people who have those diseases together. It becomes a community. So it's not just the boxing. which is important,
Right.
but it's also being able to share their experiences with one another. It's one of those events
And get a support mechanism. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And lastly, we wanted just to do a shout out that Farm Wagon happens every week on Tuesday mornings at Life Church. So if you're someone that maybe is in need to get some supplement help on your food.
And it's good nutrition. It's actually good nutrition. It's
in Life Church
yep,
off South
on
Street.
on the parking lot on the south side of the building. So,
Yep.
Yep, farm wagon. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So we've got a new feature we're just introducing this week. So somebody came to me, I'm not going to say who, and they said, you know what? You need to have a segment for Rick called Just Saying.
Do you want to tell the story? Do you want me to tell the story?
I would like you to tell the
right.
story.
I'm really nervous, by the way.
Well, you should be. That's Quinn, the producer behind the camera. Last April, I hosted an event at the Chamber Building called Bro Bingo. And it was a lot of fun. It was bingo for men, mostly men, with a lot of great prizes for guys. And apparently, there was a phrase that I used on a regular basis while I was hosting this event. I would say, just saying. I blame my daughter and a guy I used to go to church with, because I think I picked it up from him. And it's just, I don't know, it's a verbal, I don't know. It's just a verbal tick I have, I guess, in the form of the phrase just saying. And so there was a table of guys who actually started betting on how many times I would say it before the end of the event. And I said it.
Well, to be clear, I was at the table.
Yes, you were.
Tim Simpson was at the table.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And I said, hey, let's make a bet. How many times will Rick say just saying before we get done with this event? And not many. See, I knew how often you say it, because you and I have spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't, and they were like, "What? What do you mean?" I was like, "Just wait.
Just go with it."
So I said, before we bet, I was like, we'll go about 5 minutes, and they realized in that short 5-minute span that this was going to be a thing. So I should have won the bet. I should have known better, but I went low, and I said 25 times. That was my bet.
39. I
30
said it 39 times.
39.
There might have been a
39.
beverage or two involved. So now I've made it my mission to be aware of that phrase, and we'll see. I'm hosting Bro Bingo again in April. We'll see how it goes.
So Mike Latzenheiser, who has been on one of these podcasts, he won the bet, by the way. Mike collected.
Yes, he did.
So somebody very near and dear to both of our hearts said, hey, we need to have an episode called Just Saying. So here it is.
So here
Rick.
it is.
Here it is.
So,
Just Saying.
Just saying. All right. So I didn't have a chance to memorize this monologue, but since we've had this huge dose of winter weather, I've noticed some Hoosier winter behaviors that I'm just saying we may want to rethink. All right. Things like testing the thickness of ice with your body weight. That's a bad idea. I actually saw a guy doing it the other day who wanted to ice fish.
How do you do that?
You step on the ice and see if it holds you.
All right.
All right? Not a good idea. Filming yourself driving to show people how bad the weather is. I've seen Quinn, the producer, right?
I can't put the camera down, Rick. I'm a professional. Come on.
Clearing. Now, there's a story here, and I'm going to embarrass my daughter to tell. So, don't porthole. Do you guys know what portholing is? That's where you take your hand and you make a little 4-inch or 6-inch circle on your windshield, and that's how you drive to work, through the porthole. Again, Quinn, the producer. Clearly, this is a bad idea, and somebody I know and love dearly was in an accident a long time ago when she was young because she was portholing it.
So what happened?
You want me to tell the rest of the story?
Well, you've teed it up. You might as well finish it off.
You need to know the severity of the accident. Is that what you're getting at?
That's where I'm getting at.
Okay, can't wait.
Sideswiped another motorist while taking her brother to school, and then freaked out and took off.
Oh.
So, I got a phone call that morning that there had been an accident. Now everybody was fine. There was no major damage. A little bit of damage, but the fact that she took off sort of kind of made it a hit and run occurrence. So we had a few meetings and a few discussions, and we took care of the issue. I love you, Jess. Don't kill me. But don't porthole.
Don't porthole.
Just saying. All right. Your four-wheel drive does not mean four-wheel stop. Just because you have a four-wheel drive doesn't mean you're going to stop on snow and ice any quicker than anybody else. Just saying. Have you seen that? I've seen it. I love this one because I hear people do this. If the weather app says there's a snow and ice warning, you say challenge accepted. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
There's a lot of head nodding going on. behind
You
the
know
camera.
there is. And what about this one? We say this in Indiana all the time. It's not the cold, it's that wind. If it wasn't for the wind, it wouldn't be so bad out. Stop it. I get it. I live here too. Just saying. Now, if you own a shovel and a snowblower and you use whichever is closest to you, that might be a Hoosier winterism. I actually had a neighbor trying to use a snowblower. True story. And for a second, I thought about it. I thought, would this work? Could I do this? And then I didn't. Right? I figured it was, And finally, if you're running around town in shorts and a hoodie in this kind of weather, stop. You've got to get better winter attire. Just saying.
That's pretty good.
Telling you.
I'm impressed for the opening episode of Just Saying.
All right.
All right, you got next episode teed up, ready to go?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you about it.
I'm just
All
going to
right.
tee off.
It's going to tee off.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap our podcast. Are we good
Well,
now?
no, we're not done yet.
What are we gonna
All right,
do?
So wait a minute.
What
We got to put the.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Let's get this Philadelphia Eagles mug out of the way. I don't know how that got there.
All right. So we've got some mugs to show off. So those of you who have been around Parlor City Brewery probably recognize this style of mug. This is the style of mugs that they first started the mug club with.
Yep.
And the guy who makes this mug is out of Warren. So we wanted to create some mugs with the city's new logo. And so this is what he came up with. And I think they look pretty awesome.
I really like these. We've got like, 4 or 5 different designs.
Yep.
And so I like this one a lot. I like that one a lot. It is something that, what are they, $20 or something?
$20.
$20. Get your own City of Bluffton logo on it. It says Bluffton, the Parlor City. You can have your own mug with
You can get the embossed logo,
Yeah.
or you can get the printed logo, whatever
Nice.
you like better. So you got
Yeah.
the short, the tall, or the rounded versions. You can pick your own colors. I think we're going to have 3 or 4 different colors you can pick from.
That's right.
So
Holds any kind of beverage, not just coffee. Just saying. And you might even be able to take it into Parlor City and have them throw it up there on your peg. That's a possibility.
I'm not claiming you can do that.
I don't know.
But I don't know how we're going to get the word out. Maybe we'll do Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter. I don't know. But we'll make sure people are aware of it. But coming soon, if you want to check out one of those mugs for $20, I think they're pretty cool.
I do too. I think we're good. We ready to wrap it up?
We're ready to wrap it up.
All right. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Parlor City Voice.
Hey, I want to thank Felger Hart for sponsoring this event. I want to thank Bourbon MD for allowing us to hang out here for an hour or so. And Quinn behind the camera, who has done every one of those things that you talked about. In the
He
Just
did. Did
Saying
you notice
episode.
that? He was
In the last 7 days, believe it or not.
Hey, have a good one. We'll see you next time.